this deck is really underrated. Hey guys, White for Wolf here. Anybody else getting pretty sick and tired of dragons and spellbooks and Constellar and Evil Swarm here at the end of this format? Because I kinda am, and so after playing at YCS London in round 5, I played against this guy playing this deck, and I saw how explosive it was, so I wanted to build it myself and just play with it. And I think this deck could really become tier 1, maybe when dragons finally die. Hopefully they will die by January, so let's just get into the deck profile. The deck here is GeargiaKarakuri, and it plays 3 armor. I know that I also saw that the GeargiaArmor Angler just came out in the OCG. By the way, really good card, actually really fucking good card. Although it might be another year until it comes in TCG, who knows. But 3 GeargiaArmor, 3 accelerators, 3 Arsenal, 3 GeargiaAno MK2, and 1 normal GeargiaAno. That is the GearGear lineup. The deck is it's like, oh, I played GearGear once before last year. I think in October I played GearGear Machina. Really good deck, consistent. I never really played GeargiaKarakuri. This deck though, it has what GearGear does have, control aspect, but single-handedly Karakuri, the tuners, just makes it explode suddenly. It actually has a decent matchup against dragon. It's not good, because grinding with dragons is really hard. The reason I put spellbooks on the shelf was every time I would grind against dragons, and I mean really, it felt like you had the upper hand always, but then that single one card always returned from the different dimension that just put them through the goal line. It was horrific. Just to you couldn't never really stop the return unless you end phase it. I got tired of that, and also it's not a deck that I probably would play again, because now that Evil Swarm and Constellar will be main decking Mistake, that kind of hurts the deck. Although Mistake hurts a lot of other decks too, but Spellbook pretty much relies on searching all the time. Back to the deck profile, we have 1 Birdman, because it's limited. Still really good with the Accelerator. The 1 Nishipachi, the Strategist. He's really good with armor. Double Karakuri Watchdog Saizan, the little 4-tuner guy. Also really good at setting and bluffing. You have GeargiaArmor. He's the GeargiaAno can bring back level 4 type machines from the graveyard, so you can tribute it to put back this guy on the field. Really solid. That's the monsters. It's 17. For the spells, we have 3 Mystical Space Typhoons, 2 Pot of Duality, 1 Iron Call, like the monster reborn for machine type monsters. You have to control the machine type, but it's still pretty good. Dark Hole, 1 Forbidden Lands, and 1 Book of Moon. I think it's 9 spells. Yeah, 9 spells. For the traps, there's 14 of them. We'll start off with the best card in the deck. GeargiaGear. I tested 2, wasn't good enough at 2, so I wanted to bump it up to 3, and 3 is way good. It's this card pretty much makes the deck really good. You can flip it in your opponent's end phase, and then you can flip one in your own turn. Really solid, cause it brings out the GeargiaAnos from the deck, and they become level 4. So you pretty much bring out this, and you can overlay into X if you want to. If you don't have any tuners, like you can get Birdman real fast. If you have already an armor on the board and you have accelerators and all that, and you do have the 1 tuner in hand, you can just summon accelerator, summon the tuner, and you can actually go into Bureis and Bureidos and all that, and then later you can tribute this for Saizan when it's already in graveyard. So deck has really cool plays because of this card. Next up we have double Trapstun. I really hate Return from a Different Dimension, and Trapstun is actually a really good card. Also Wing Blast is quite annoying sometimes, because turn 1 in Geargia it's always pretty hard to set up. You have to have the armor, flip it and get accelerator, and then have the armor stay. It has to stay on the board if you want to OTK, unless you have GeargiaGear. But yeah, Trapstun is really good. Double Fiendish Chain, double Mirror Force, 1 Torrential, works great with the accelerator, 1 Bottomless Trap Hole, 1 Compulse, 1 Solemn Warning, and a tech card I wanted to play, Transmigration Prophecy, because it hurts some decks, and if you already spent your tuners or your GeargiaAnos, you can always recycle them back with the Transmigration Prophecy. That was the idea behind it. I felt like there wasn't any spells I wanted to put in, there wasn't any monsters I wanted to put in. I wanted a 14th trap. First I started with maybe 1 Iron Wall main, maybe 1 Ghost Match main, then I came up with the Transmigration Prophecy, and solid card against mermaids, against dragons, against spellbooks even, and just to get back this, if you started with too many of them and they're in graveyard, you can just put them back so they works later on. Really solid card actually. 40 cards in the main deck. For the extra deck, rank 3s, Send Mains, and Soul of Silvermountains. Great card, locking. If you summon GeagiaAno MK2 and just bring back Arsenal from the graveyard, tribute it for another GeagiaAno. Rank 3 plays Soul of Silvermountains, really good, locking out your opponent's cards. For the rank 4s, Maestroke. This is supposed to be a Diamond Direwolf. I'm lacking it at the moment. And 2 Gigant X. Synchros, 7 Black Rose, double Burei. For the 8s, double Bureido, Crimson Blader. Really easy to go into in this deck, and so good against a lot of decks nowadays. You can actually make cool plays with Bureido, Burei, Stardust, Crimson Blader, and all that in one turn. Really solid. Max C hurts a little though. You have to stop. Colossal Fighter, Stardust Dragon, and Scrap Dragon. Also, Scrap Dragon is really good with accelerator plays. Side deck, I have only got 5 cards in the side deck because I haven't really thought of anything I wanted to side yet. That's 2 Imperial Annuals, 1 Swift Scarecrow because it can be searched by Gigant X from the graveyard to the hand and deck to the hand. So then I have 2 Veilers. I thought about some Ghost Match as well, maybe with Warlords. Don't know yet. I will figure out something, but this is what I got so far. I will, if you haven't already seen the new GeargiaArmor, like I said, it's gonna probably be a year before it comes to TCG, but GeargiaAngler, it's 500 attack, Earth, level 4. It when normal summoned, you can add a level 4 machine type monster to your hand from your deck, so it can add gadgets, it can add machine a gear frame, it can add accelerator. The restriction is you cannot attack the turn you use this card's effect, and you can only special summon machine type monsters for the rest of the turn. So becomes an instant Gigant X with accelerator. So you summon Angler, you get this accelerator, special summon accelerator X for X. Even more ridiculous plays when they have Birdman. If you already also have Birdman in hand, but yeah. If you haven't already seen it, I'll link it to it in the description box. Thanks for watching, and until next time.